Welcome back to the video, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm watching On a Mission, the Tone Mission story. John Petrucci's chasing of his perfect tone, which I believe that he captures on nearly every single record, and it's one of my favorite parts about his playing, excluding the fact that his playing is flawless. I'm mildly familiar with the Tone Mission story, and I've watched one of his conferences on tone. I don't know what this has to do with Tone Mission, and I did recently get an email linking me to the Tone Mission website with his pack of impulse responses for a Liquid Tension album, the most recent Dream Theater record, View from the Top of the World, and the Impulse Response pack for John Petrucci's most recent solo album from 2020. I saw him live for that, and it was an evening with Petrucci. That was great. He actually played with Portnoy. It was the first time he played live with Portnoy in years. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Skidoosh.
Tone Mission, to me, it's a lifetime journey in that word. Like when I think about where I am now and the whole concept of tone mission and what that means, I go like way back. I grew up on Long Island in New York, and there was a major rock radio station. There were a few of them. Rush immediately resonated with me. You know, so Alex's guitar sound. I didn't really know exactly how he was getting it or what it was, but like, oh, I like that. When you first start playing any instrument, in this case guitar, there's this big learning curve, especially, you know, going back then, there was no YouTube or Instagram. You didn't really know how people were doing things. When you're a kid and you're just in a small town and you heard All Along the Watchtower on the radio and you never knew what a wah pedal was, and then like your friend down the street has a wah and you're like, that's what are you doing? Like, you know, and you just physically see something for the first time. It totally was this major adventure in those early years. I mean, I started playing when I was 12, so those...
I'm just vibing to this backing track. I'm totally paying attention to everything he says, but I love this track. What song
first few
Can someone tell me what song this is, please?
years, it was discovery. You start to want to share that, you know, then you're with your friends. Oh my God, you gotta hear this thing I just like found. You know, I guess I didn't know back then that it would turn into me wanting to release my own products.
I remember saying to John, you've got a signature guitar, a signature amp, signature pickups, signature wah pedal, signature chord. What's left? He goes, I had this dream last night and I came up with this name, Tone Mission. You know, now what? Well, now we're on a tone mission. Now we're gonna push the future. And here we are, launching the inaugural John Petrucci IR Collection Volume 1.
Virtual plugins, IR, stuff like that was always something that I was kind of starting to get into. What were these things? How are they useful to me in what situations? And I have to give a lot of credit to Jimmy T and to Maddie. This IR pack wouldn't have happened if it weren't for the two of them. And the fact that we've known each other for so long and we're doing something like this together for the first time is really special.
If these packs are anything like the impulse responses that are used through Neural DSP for the archetype Petrucci, I would love to try them. The second I can justify dropping the money on them, I believe that I will, and I will probably do a review.
Because, you know, you tend to do things with people who you love and trust, and this is a great example of that.
The IR pack was born out of the sessions for Terminal Velocity. So when COVID shut everything down, John decided this is my opportunity to do another solo record. From there, it was just like every time we do a recording session, we're gonna shoot IRs, just to even have just a capture of what was happening at that particular moment.
Tone Mission and the IR Pack Volume 1. It's a representation of all of us being tone junkies. We operate very similar in that we want things to be right. If you're sitting in a room all day and your focus is, let's make a good sounding record, you need to have that willingness to pay attention to those small things. And a big thing with John is we want it to sound like his cabinet in the room. He's so particular about the way his whole rig not only sounds, but feels, the reactiveness in the low end. Knowing the few combinations, I mean like millimeters of a movement on his amp should react a certain way. In the beginning of this, I was just making impulse responses for John.
Not really thinking, oh, this is something that could be a sellable product, but let's capture this moment in time for whatever reason. Maybe we want to take this cabinet.
Now I want to learn how to capture an impulse response. I don't know how to do that, I don't even know how you would begin going about doing that. And how are they digitally changing what it would sound like where you place the mic on the actual speaker of the cabinet? I don't know how that would transfer to the digital realm, because I know Petrucci uses 4x12s, right? And there's 4 different speakers in the 4x12s, and each of those speakers sounds differently. So in the digital realm, how are you going to have that difference? Because with every cabinet, that each of them sounds different on every cab. They're all very slightly not the same, which is just another word for different, and I'm an idiot. But there's just something that's off slightly about all of them, and not off in a bad way, just unique.
And load it into the Axe effects. We want to load it into the Boogie cab clone.
In this IR pack, you'll find each record, Terminal Velocity, Liquid Tension 3, and the most recent Dream Theater record. And then within each of those folders, you'll find the different resolutions, and you'll be able to pull from either blends or assets, blends being our sounds as we use them on the records with the committed levels, their unique preamp, the polishing EQ and into the DAW, or you can access the assets going through the whole signal chain as an individual microphone. So you could go, let me just hear what this dynamic microphone sounded like on LTE. Blend albums, or just use the one as an effect. And then lastly,
That is genius.
is a bonus cabinet folder that contains a couple other cabinets from John's collection that I ended up setting up and just getting some sounds off of a 112, a 212, and an alternate 412. So this specific product launch is in line with John's sound. Tone Mission is indicative of everyone's drive to find the perfect tone for them.
There's a lot of guitar players out there who don't necessarily play like John or have a different style or a different tone or a different sound that they're going after. And I think these IRs, especially the blended ones, will help them achieve that.
The desire to want to share information and the desire to want to design and change things and make things better, you put those two things together and eventually it's going to lead to, wow, this is something that I made. This is something that I believe in that you haven't heard before or seen before. And I think you'll really love it. No matter what kind of music you play or what application you're in, or whether you're playing in a metal band or a prog band or a country band or pop or whatever, this is just a great tone. This is a great tone. Like, take whatever amp you're playing, take whatever guitar you're using. If you play it through this, you're gonna have the benefit of all of this work and research to have a great tone.
Volume 1 obviously is setting up Volume 2, which, you know, we already know what we want to do. But then after that, the possibilities are really endless. It doesn't matter if you're just picking up a guitar for the first time, no matter what age you are, or if you've been playing for 40, 50 years. Maybe now you're sort of in a place where I want to get a particular sound, so when I play, I'm happy and excited. And
That's already me now, and I've only been playing for 3 or 4 years. I really hope that Volume 2 has the impulse responses for whatever he used on A Train of Thought and Scenes from a Memory. I want those two the most. Those are my 2 favorite Dream Theater albums.
and inspired to create something. It could be that I have my sound, but I want to make things more bulletproof for when I'm playing out, so I don't have any technical issues. Now you're on your own tone mission.
I'm John Petrucci.
I'm Jimmy T,
I'm Maddie Schieferstein.
and this is Tone Mission.
Welcome to Tone Mission.
This is my tone mission. What's yours?
I was thinking about some tech stuff of like frequency sweeps of how I do it. Like, I just go like,
Straight into a mic. You just
that's how it's done.
yeah, we don't need.
That's how the pros do it.
Exactly.
That was amazing, and I just became thoroughly inspired to embark on my own tone mission. I'll somehow document that through this. Don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I know that my tone is heavily inspired by James Hetfield and Dimebag. That's what I hear in my head. That's what I know I want to hear. My leads, I always want to sound like Steve Vai for some reason. I just love that slidey feel that he always has, and just the fluidity to go between legato and staccato, and how the tone complements and accentuates both of them flawlessly. I know that's what I want. I'm rambling. I could turn this into a whole other video. And when I finally have the resources to, I will complete my own tone mission. I don't know how I'll do it, but I will. Anyways, thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed my reaction or enjoyed this kind of information, leave a comment below, like, subscribe, and watch some more videos if you please. Have a good day, everybody.